We're at the Maverick gas station. We got Stuart here. He's like the main guy at LiquaDry. Knows all the ins and outs. Drive up to the water source.
Yeah, so actually where we're going is the volcanic field right below Marysville, Utah.
Nice.
Which is where the snow melt and our water comes from for irrigation.
Nice. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're gonna go talk about how this ancient seabed that we live in got all its minerals down here from a volcanic field.
Amazing. All right.
As you kind of look around,
yeah,
this really kind of flat area here, you know, we're kind of in this little bowl.
Right.
And just to the north of us right here, you almost kind of see like a little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
Well, this area, the name of this town is called Delta, Utah. Got its name from the river delta that flows into this valley.
Okay.
Okay, so anciently, this was all an inland sea, like the Dead Sea.
Wow.
Okay, so it's really high in salts because rivers would flow into this valley and there was no way out.
Right.
Okay, so anciently, this was called Lake Bonneville.
So this is Lake Bonneville.
Yeah, so this is like the southern end of Lake Bonneville.
Okay.
So eventually Lake Bonneville filled up into the mountains and broke through the mountains up in Idaho. It flowed out into the Pacific Ocean up through the Green Rivers and Snake Rivers up in Idaho.
Wow.
You know, and they have all the physical evidence of how that lake drained because there's Volkswagen bug size, and rocks the size of my truck that are basically these round river pebbles.
Yeah.
From this vast inland sea emptying out, through those canyons and stuff down into so it just basically broke through and emptied out. And when that happened, the weight of all that water now being gone, the elevation here jumped up about 300 feet.
Whoa.
It kind of changed the topography here a little bit, but the delta, the river that flows into this valley,
yeah,
when it was Lake Bonneville, that delta was an underwater delta, so it was just this depositing silt and sediment here, for eons, right? Wow. So what we're going to do is actually go over and look where this volcano is and this volcanic field and look at where the magnesium, the potassium, the phosphorus, the calcium, all these really important minerals come from into our valley. And why is that important, in our greens? What's the big deal? Well, for us, they're essential minerals, right?
Yeah.
Those minerals, also known as electrolytes, we use those as electrolytes. Our body does. Helps, mineralize and alkalize our bodies.
Right.
It helps balance the pH in our gut, those electrolytes, which helps improve bioavailability.
Uh-huh.
And those electrolytes are also essential in carrying nutrients into our cells and, detoxing our cells. So all those nutrients all play a very important role in the exchange at a cellular level.
Right.
And so to have a healthy balance of those of these electrolytes is really, really important. You don't get that in tray grass if you're growing tray grass and juicing tray grass.
Oh, right.
Right. You don't have access to those. The grass, what's growing there, the foliage just doesn't have access.
Yeah.
To those. To me, it's a really important story because they all play a role in what I like to call happy grass. If you have happy, healthy grass, we're going to get the best of the best nutrition from it.
Right.
So it's important to start out with good nutrition in the soil, and I believe that starts with our water and where our water comes from.
Right. Nice.
So today we're going up to the mountains to get a peek at where this all starts.
And so in Abraham, where Utah, where you guys are at, it's kind of part of this Lake Bonneville.
Yeah. So Abraham, Delta's got about 3,000 people or so, but the surrounding community is probably about 5,000 people. And Abraham It's just one of the little villages that's part of the Delta area.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, and our farm ground is all wrapped around this Delta area.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. I could drink endless amounts of that stuff. And do you think I could actually drink the liquid when we're of the barley grass? Or
yeah, you could. What I think is fun to do is actually when we're out in the field, harvesting the barley grass is actually taste the fresh barley grass.
Okay.
Right. So there's no better place to get your fruits and vegetables is like really right from the farm, from the ground, right? And then we can kind of go in and compare, like, you know, part of the things we're going to want to talk about tomorrow is why it's important we juice and why it's important we dry the juice the way we do, and why it's important to separate the fiber.
Yeah.
And those kind of
nice.
things. So tomorrow we're going to talk about all those things. And
I'm excited.
But before we get to harvest, we have to start with happy grass.
The water source.
And
okay.
So happy grass starts with how we feed it. And
yeah. This whole entire area was just Lake Bonneville, and it drained how many years ago? 10,000 years ago?
Oh yeah, thousands of years.
Yeah, thousands of years ago. It is so mineral rich that salts leach from the ground and like appear on the ground. And I don't know if any of you have heard of it's called the Lake Bonneville, the Bonneville Flats.
The Bonneville Salt Flats.
Yeah, they're called the Bonneville Salt Flats. People actually come here to race because it's like it's really flat, and the salts make it really flat, right? Like
flat and hard. So it's just like this really
and they're just racing here.
Surface, yeah.
And so this used to be like an inland sea, which is similar to the Dead Sea, and this is just right where LiquaDry is, like in the midst of all of these minerals. And on top of that, the water source comes from a volcanic mineral deposit, which we're going through now. And then there's this incredible watershed that happens on an ongoing basis from the rivers that flow into this area. And we're going to go into detail about everything over today and tomorrow. This is going to be amazing. And we're going to the volcanic deposits right now.
So out to the south of us, just right here, out to the right, that dome that you see right there. It's actually the first sign that you'll see of volcanic activity. That's actually a volcanic dome right there that you see.
You mean that mountain right there?
Yeah.
Wow. Right, there's the mountain. That's the first sign of the volcanic deposit. And then also, Stuart was saying we're probably going to see these mineral salt deposits, salt flats on the ground right now, you think?
Yeah, we'll see it.
Okay. I'll get it on video once we get there. Stuart, I literally get like many calls per week, people asking for celery juice powder. I know it's in process, right? Is it in process? This is from the horse's mouth, guys, because it's... What's happening with the celery juice?
Yeah, so I'm a pretty transparent guy. I don't hold back, so I'll just tell you how it is.
Okay.
Celery in Europe and Asia is considered an allergen.
Right.
LiquaDry has always been an allergen-free facility.
Gotcha.
And so the challenge is, if we're going to run celery, how do we do it and mitigate any potential risk to people that might consider celery an allergy? We don't think about that in the U.S. because it's not considered an allergen in the U.S.
Right.
But other places in the world it is.
Right.
And so that's our challenge. It's a regulatory compliance and a kind of a food safety. So we would recognize it as a sensitive ingredient. And we have everything in place for the regulatory controls and to do it, but it's still kind of one of those.
We're in the desert,
we've
guys.
Just always been adverse to.
Right.
And so.
But you have it in the works, though.
It is.
I saw it on the piece of paper.
Yeah. It's in the works. We're going through processes.
Yeah, I got water right. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the companies that consider it to be an allergen and the places around the world that we serve, we're working with them to make sure that they also believe that our controls and protocols are sufficient.
So if we had to choose a date, if you had to guess, your best guess, when do you think celery juice powder would be ready?
At this point, I would say probably second quarter.
Of 2026?
Yeah.
So by June, we're hoping?
Yeah.
All right.
Sometime during second quarter.
And things can change, obviously. We can't have too high expectations, but that's what we're hoping for. It's in process. June of 2026, we're hoping for celery juice powder. Dude, I'm telling you, that is probably going to be more as popular as carrot juice powder. Not only is it crazy nutritious, hydrating, could be used as electrolytes, but it also, I think, could be a salt replacement possibly. Like, as not like super like salty, but just like it would be just very tasteful. Anyway.
Yeah, it's got that kind of savory kick to it, right?
Yeah.
Celery, you have a natural savory kind of kick to it.
Look at this, guys. There's wild horses here on our way to the volcanic mineral deposits. That's crazy. In the USA, they're not extinct wild animals. So Stuart and I were just talking about the difference between like different salts, like Himalayan salt and Celtic sea salt. And, you know, he was talking about how Himalayan salt needs to be milled. But he says the best milling machine in the planet is Mother Nature, which we're about to go take a look at this machine right now.
That's right. This is what we're going to see today.
Yeah.
You know, Mother Nature has a way of milling stuff. You know, her way of preparing things for our benefit is way beyond anything that man can do.
Right.
Right. So, so what is that? You know, in the mountains, you know, we get the snow, we get the rain. You've got freezing, thawing, and this process that happens over eons of time. Literally, the minerals seeping into the earth and down through the earth and into the rivers and streams and the rocks and everything, and these streams and rivers that just over eons of time, Mother Nature prepares this mineral slurry that's in our irrigation water that then gets applied to our plants, that our plants can easily uptake all of those minerals. And so if the plants can uptake those minerals and we're consuming the plants, guess what? It's even more bioavailable for us than anything that man could mill and grind and do to try to prepare for us. It's just this very bioavailable form of nutrition that's already been uptaken by plant cells, right?
And this is what we're going to see today.
And this is what we're going to go kind of take a look at, where all of this comes from.
So like there's volcanic mineral rocks, and they get baked and churned and snow frozen and
you can start to see it now. We're getting a little closer. You can see just kind of these formations in the mountains here. And you can kind of see there's like these different layers, right? And these layers represent different sediments and different volcanic layers that take in course over time. You know, some of it's iron, some of it's magnesium, potassium, calcium. There's all these different minerals that Mother Nature has concentrated and provided in the heat of a volcano, and you know, from the depths of the earth, and Heavenly Father's recipe, I guess. You know, I don't know. It's, you know, it's all provided here for our benefit. The really cool part of this whole thing is, you know, we don't have to go dig out of the mountain to go grind this stuff up and try to put it on our farms and you know, see if we can get some benefit from these minerals. These minerals come prepared to us from nature itself, and the machine that exists on this marvelous planet, you know, that we live in. So I don't know. It's just, to me, it's fascinating that all these things come together. I learned all of this. I became really intrigued by this machine here that provides nutrition to our plants. From a geologist, I invited to kind of a leading geologist. He learns about all these rocks and formations and the history of how it all came together, because for him, he gets to kind of reverse engineer and identify where all the good stuff is hidden, you know. And but he came in and helped us understand this machine that we're coming to look at today, and why this place in Delta is one of only a couple places in the whole world where you have an ancient seabed, a river delta, and a volcanic field feeding the nutrients of soil in one specific place where it all comes together in one spot.
Wow. Meanwhile, Leah and Angela are at the hot springs. What is it called? The Meadow?
Yeah, the Meadow Hot Springs in Meadow, Utah, south of Delta.
Yeah, it's right that they just drove over there, and that's just proof that there's volcanic activity here with the geothermal. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my.
that's right. It's just proof again. They just, hey, the hot pots. Let's go play in the hot pots. Well, guess what? That's residual evidence of the geothermal activity in this area.
And that place is free that they went to?
Yeah, it's just out in the middle of I think in the old days, it was a family-owned farm, and they know people enjoyed going there, and so they didn't want it to become some commercial resort or whatever, so they just left it available for people to just kind of go out there and enjoy.
So I could go there tonight if I wanted to?
For sure.
Like at 11 p.m.?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. Maybe we will. Here's a video of Leah enjoying the hot springs. Check it out.
Oh my gosh, we found it!
Oh, it's so nice and warm. It is kind of like a really, really big hot bath. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice. Oh, it's so slippery. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What's the shallowest thing I get from this walk? Oh my gosh, I'm in. Oh, it feels so nice and warm. And we're in the middle of nowhere, but there is cows. Do you think a cow's gonna come? At least one?
Maybe. So we were super fortunate, right? We got here and there was a big family group who were just leaving.
Yeah.
So now we have the place to ourselves, but we got the whole lowdown from them about everything. So there's 3 hot springs here. This one is the biggest and the deepest and the hottest, but there's 2 more that way. I guess one is where those buses are, and then the other one is maybe where that camper is. They're smaller, and they said the one over there has a bunch of fish in it. That sounds super cool, right?
Yeah.
We'll go check out the fish one too. So pretty.
Wait, is there like a interesting fish about to pop up at me?
They said there's maybe some fish in here, but not as much as the other one.
Like a big one?
And then look, there's like a little fire pit right there. I guess people hang out here at night. How cool would that be? They hang out, they have fires, they sit in the hot tubs underneath the starry sky. Amazing. And this is like just completely free. We're just on some farmland. They have donation drops, like there's one right there. You can drop some money as a donation.
And it's not as a far of a walk.
Yeah, it was not far from where we parked. It's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
I love it.
And then you can just go down if you want and get all these fish.
Yeah, do you see this? Do you not even realize what's going on?
Oh! It's like...
All right, we're coming off here. The exit.
This area right in through here is volcanic ash. It's just this huge deposits, and he went on to kind of explain that as a volcano explodes, inside there's kind of this refractance, kind of like at different temperatures, like when you refine oil, you get different things at different temperatures. So it's inside the volcano, you've kind of got this refinement
Yeah.
process that's going on, and things get concentrated, and so they come out in different ways and at different times in the eruption process, I guess. Some of it all comes out together, but some of it is concentrating inside the volcano and doing, because you've got different temperatures kind of going on, and so it all kind of spews out, and so you'll see things kind of laid down, and of course you'll have different volcanic kind of events, if you will, that also lay things down in these layers. Here we're getting off the interstate, and we're getting ready to travel down through these canyons here that are all canyons that lead us up to the Marysville, kind of volcanic field. And this is not a small volcano. I mean, this is a major North American historic geological event.
Yeah.
That's taken place here.
Yeah.
But you'll see in some of these cutaways and stuff in the mountain that you'll see these different layers, and I'll do my best. And I've got some video that I made with this geologist and recordings where he does a much better job than I'm going to remember of actually pointing out, hey, this rock right here, this is where the magnesium's coming from. This is where what the potassium's coming from. As you'll see right here, as we're kind of crossing this river right here, this is the Severe River.
Whoa.
And this is the river that flows down into our valley and that comes down from these mountains here. So
Right. So we
gotta pull over and get some quick pictures of the river here.
Okay. So we just came off of the main road. How far are we from the place where we're going right now?
Probably 20 minutes.
Oh boy.
20 minutes or so.
Okay. And then the river is just like right over here. This is crazy.
These are big these big rocks right here next to the river. These are all
Volcanic.
deposit, yeah.
And then just the water just dissolving those minerals, and the plants uptaking it, and then dissolving those plants, and it all just makes its way to LiquaDry.
Yeah, this is just part of this machine, this refining machine that Mother Nature has, right? Of refining these minerals in a way that the plants easily uptake them.
Yeah.
And then we're consuming that plant nutrition. There's no better way, I don't think, to get your minerals than through plant-based nutrition.
Yeah.
Right? Problem with today's world, things are so overcooked and overprocessed and take things out of balance, right? Just by the processes that we put everything through. Keep it as close to nature as we can. Now, we try to do all the hard work and make it easy. We do all the juicing and we clean the juicer,
Yeah.
You don't have to do all that. It's nice to know that you have a source for honest nutrition, right? That's as close to Mother Nature as we can possibly get it.
Yeah.
It just, foundationally, it starts with the plant nutrition. And at the heart of that has to be, minerals.
Right.
Like
All this
right
is
here
all this is volcanic deposits here.
Yeah.
Some of it's red.
Some of it's black, some of it's white,
Yeah.
gray, and it's just, these are all just different minerals and trace minerals that we need, in our food.
Yeah.
And to keep things in balance.
Oh my
He's
God.
explaining to me, this is a really big source for phosphorus and potassium in these rocks right here.
The geologist you met with.
Yeah.
This is major potassium and phosphorus. That's like critical nutrition.
And here we're at the river. The river's got to start somewhere, right? We're going to follow this up right up to the top of the mountain and see where it all starts.
Nice.
Just out of the middle of nowhere, you got this big rock. You think about the energy that it takes to throw that rock.
Look at that rock. Hey, let me see if I can get it.
You see those rocks like that,
Yeah.
scattered all over these mountains.
Damn.
Or pushed up, they were dropped in there.
Somehow, some way or another,
Yeah.
by the Mother Nature machine.
Yeah.
What's this cute little town?
This is Marysville.
We're getting closer?
Yeah, so we're probably halfway up the mountain.
All right.
But we're just up here around the corner. We'll start seeing the springs and the streams and stuff coming down off the mountain. What they call the Marysville volcanic field. It's a volcanic debris field.
Wow.
It's essentially the mountains here, you know, were turned inside out.
Here we go.
Like this is part of Mother Nature's machine. It's just this refining, this milling machine. Yeah, and if you want to get out and take pictures, I mean, that's what this is all about. I love that sound.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing better in the whole world. I mean, we're just up here in the fresh, clean air. We're still a mile or so away from Miners Peak.
Yeah.
Here in the Marysville mountain range. This is the Marysville volcanic debris field here. Trying to learn about this machine, right, that Mother Nature uses to provide nutrition for our soil, for our plants. And this is part of it, right?
Nice.
I don't know. To me, this is heaven.
It is absolutely. I could just, you guys, the crisp air out here. Oh my God, I feel so good and vibrant right now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're almost there. This is just awesome. We just stopped by for 1 second so we could just see the river coming down. But we're going to the top, which is gonna be a serious sight to see. He's just taking a moment here. So we're headed.
So in the springtime,
Yeah.
this little stream that we're seeing here, this
Yeah.
almost like little creek that's running down the side of the mountain, it's full blown churning, burning. I mean, it's alive. I mean, it is just raging down the mountain, and it is. I mean, these big boulders, you can hear them rolling and knocking and carrying on. It's something to hear. It's quite something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Stuart and I are we're closing in on the mountain here. We're getting to the top of it. We're gonna do a hike. It's probably like 1 or 2 miles, you said?
It's probably a couple miles in and a couple miles back out.
All right, so we're thinking about doing a hike to a waterfall. Stuart gave me this LiquaDry bag of all these juice powder samples. I'm drinking water with the carrot juice powder before our hike. Be prepared. And when I get back, I'll do a bunch more with all the greens. There's this one called Olivia's Mix, and it has AFA. It's like greens, carrot, like the perfect mix for after a hike. So this is 4 teaspoons. I like to take it directly in my mouth. It tastes so good. And chew on it and then drink. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
The carrot. What are you doing there? Oh.
They said they weren't collecting it anymore right here, but I don't know. Well,
Oh, what is your, you just give them money?
that's like for parking and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
It's clear. It's like gold reflecting off of the water.
Look how crystal clear that is. Headed up to the waterfall. Looks like there's a forest fire here. All right, we're literally coming up here where it's coming out of the mountain. Trails are gone from forest fires and just the crazy rivers from doing what they do. Carrot juice powder right here. All right. We couldn't find the original trail. So we've been walking the wild route for like an hour, just climbing back and forth over the river, through the rocks. Hardcore.
I want to look around this corner and here see what we're looking for.
You guys just saw Stuart walking across that river on the big rocks, like boom, boom. Me too. We're just troopers. We keep going. We're just in the wild. We're hiking in the wild. No trail here. So we had to cross the river like 5 times over rocks. This looks cool. Yeah. These are volcanic mineral rocks?
Absolutely.
Dude.
See here?
All right.
Yeah, these really sharp rocks.
Nice.
Just right here, you got all the, the freezing and thawing and kind of the breaking apart, and kind of creates this big debris field, and rocks are cracking apart and exposing some of those different layers. You know, you've got volcanic activity here, which means you've also got earthquake and things shifting around, and things that were once laying over now standing up. So it exposes, you know, these minerals, and this is kind of the rough side of the mill, you know, kind of breaking the great big ones down into, you know, big ones.
So the rivers will be getting minerals from these rocks for years to come.
Yeah.
Decades, thousands, centuries.
This big, huge battery of minerals in the mountains, right?
Yeah. All right. I think we're hearing the waterfall. We almost gave up a couple times because we couldn't find ways to go, but in the last second we did. Now it's kind of opened up to us. All right, let's do it. You guys, look at this. Wow. How long have we been going?
It's been a couple hours, right?
Couple hours.
Yeah.
It's probably just a little bit further, but we got to get back before it gets dark. But this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you can kind of start, I think you actually see the top of the falls kind of up there.
Yeah, massive waterfalls are coming from there. This is where it all starts.
Well, this is the water that we use to water our crops.
Yeah.
Alfalfa, barley, oat, you know, kamut or wheatgrass, the buckwheat. This is where the water comes from, and you know, up top here it's like crystal clear.
Right.
I mean, it's coming right out of the mountain.
Yeah.
You know, and with it coming out of the mountain, it is bringing minerals. But this whole, particularly in the springtime after the winter snow, I mean, the snow in here is going to be, you know, tens of feet deep here in a couple of weeks. You know, I mean, the snow here will be really, really deep.
I got here just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time. So that spring runoff, I mean, we talk about this being a machine. You know, right now it's kind of a gentle, you know, like system. It'll start freezing here in a little bit. But in the springtime, I mean, this whole area is just, you know, grinding and coming to life, and it's just carrying that water down.
Yeah.
And it turns kind of, you know, if you were to take salt and, you know, a bunch of minerals and pour it in pure water, it would get kind of cloudy, and that's kind of what happens to it by the time it gets down at the river. It's just picking up all these minerals. You know, down here we see the big rocks, the little rocks, the sand, and the silt, but the water is just going to continue to kind of dissolve that smaller and smaller and pick it up and carry it away. You know, it's microscopic by the time it gets to the plants.
Yeah.
And to the point where the plants can just uptake it. It's readily available. You know, it doesn't have to break down
Right.
again in the soil. I mean, the soil is full of it already because this river's been depositing these solids in our valley for eons.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell, you know, what happened in this canyon here is just a marvel. And, you know, these plants take root, they start to break down and do their part. I mean, this is just a piece of heaven on earth right here, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, all this stuff to me, it kind of shares its life source.
Yeah.
You know, makes happy grass.
Yeah.
Makes us healthy and happy. You know, and happy grass is important. If it's happy, it's vibrant, it's nutritious, it's not stressed, and what it's doing is building up its energy to pass on to the next generation. It's taking this life source and, you know, creating, you know, kind of a stored life source, you know, that it gets to share with us, and, you know, we get to take up. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nice.
I don't know, that's kind of corny, but you know, I kind of think of things that way. It's just nature sharing its life source with us a little bit. So we got to take care of it too, right?
Yeah. We are serious troopers for making it all the way up here as far as we did. It's unbelievable. I'm actually gonna go up right here and get a better shot of behind us without these trees right here in the way.
I gotta think that the waterfall's gotta be right there. There's no,
Yeah,
no
it's just not impossible to make to it right from right here. All right, guys. We have another couple hours to go back down. We got our exercise today. I'm happy about that. Then I'm gonna drink a bunch of juice powders when we get back to the bottom. Hey guys, check that out. Aww. Oh yeah, that's a buck on there. He's got antlers. Wow. There's a couple more right there. Mama and some babies. Mama's looking at us. We're back in the car, me and Stu here. And you know how he gave me that gift bag? You could see all the green juice powders all over my face, excuse that. I've just been downing, I just put it directly in my mouth from the bag, and then I just drink water afterwards. Oh my God, it's so good. I've just been telling him how his juice powders are the best thing on the planet.
It's all lava rock.
These are all lava rock. And this is like lava fields, you were saying?
Yeah, these big lava fields or lava flows, you know. But
Oh my God. This is where lava was flowing 40,000 years ago?
yeah, see like all this over here. Now, a lot of it's covered, you know, a little bit, but you can see where it kind of peaks out above the surface. This was all kind of like, it was all covered in lava.
Dude.
This was the volcano we talk about. That volcano, it's just this massive event.
Wow.
Yeah, massive event.
Right.
So over here by these hot pots where you're going, there's actually this little area called Tabernacle Hill, not far from where we're going to go to the hot pots.
Yeah.
And there's lava tubes.
Wait, is hot pots where I'm going right now to? Okay.
Right next to these hot pots that you're going to is a place called Tabernacle Hill. And over right there by Tabernacle Hill, there's a bunch of lava tubes. And the lava tubes are basically, you know, where lava flowed. You know, the outside kind of crusts up and the lava keeps flowing through the middle of it. And you basically like have this tunnel.
Wow.
You're talking about this is a volcanic area, you know, it's not, you know, we're not just saying that to be saying it to put on a label. It's
right, it's legitimate.
This is the real thing.
This is the real deal, guys. This was just pure mineral. I can't believe like this whole entire bowl was like volcanic. I'm just drinking juice powders with water, distilled water type stuff. You know how Angela was just at the hot springs and I was showing you videos? They're going back and I'm gonna meet them there because it's on the way and we were both an hour away. It was just crazy and Stuart's taking me there. So we're about to go to the hot springs and it's gonna be awesome.
Kind of our valley, but you know, this is kind of a higher elevation side of the valley, but
yeah.
You see all of this over here on the right, that's all lava fields.
Dang.
Lava flows. Over here on the left, you see these two smaller mounds, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of like a mound. One of them they call Tabernacle Hill, and the other one next to it over there. I mean, that's, if you got like a little chopper, there's like just a vast field of nothing but lava, like you're on Mars or something.
Right.
It's very jagged, sharp, you know, lava rock for your barbecue grill. You know,
they harvest it from here to make lava rock for your barbecue grill.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that river that we just went to, that was like the beginning of it, where it starts.
Yeah.
And then it comes all the way around this valley, and then right where our Airbnb is, like 2 hours away, is where it enters into where Lake Bonneville used to be. Remember, we're in a bowl here. There's mountains all around, and it used to be a huge lake and just drained into Idaho thousands of years ago. It was a lake, and this river would just get inserted right into it. And then when Lake Bonneville drained into Idaho, it was completely empty, and then this river had to like still continue to flow into the valley, which is what this river is. And then once it did that, it had to like go further and further, and I'll let Stu explain the rest.
So it's carved this deep channel in those soft deposits, right? So we'll see that tomorrow and get to kind of look at the layers, you know, that it left behind. It just,
Wow.
It's just hard to fathom how deep, the minerals really are. But it's, we'll see it on the riverbank. It'll be cool to see.
Cool. So when the Lake Bonneville went away, there was like all this soft sediment from all the minerals from all the years, and this river just created banks finding its way through the valley. So I'm excited to see that. First thing in the morning, he's going to pick me up from my Airbnb, and then after that, we go to LiquaDry, harvest some barley we're doing tomorrow, barley grass, put it through the juicer, bioactive-dehydrate it. Oh yeah. All right, I met the girls up. She's in the hot springs. This one is literally loaded with hundreds of fish. I'm coming. You guys, Stu was telling me, excuse all the green juices, I kept drinking more, that people literally take their aquarium, their fish in their fish tank, and they don't want them anymore. They put them in the coldest hot springs, which is this one. And that's why there's so much fish. And you put your feet in and you can feel them like, I'm coming. Ori's like dying for me to see all these fish. They like eat off, they exfoliate you.
They're eating a piece of beef right now, I think. Actually, I don't know what this piece of food is.
Yeah.
Back up, bro. Don't scare away my...
This is literally from people's fish tanks, he was saying, Stu. Did you know that, Gila?
Yeah. They're all tropical fish. And then it's been like many years apparently, and it's like they have their own ecosystem in here. There's apparently even turtles that people have dumped in here.
Okay.
And they just like, they reproduce, they eat each other.
Come on.
Yeah, I saw some fish eating another fish a little bit ago.
And
Gosh.
I saw a dead fish.
The hot springs still, it's just like right off the road here. And people are camping around here. It's cool. We're at Jubilee. I still got the juice powders. We're at a supermarket out in nowhere. There's like the only supermarket out here. And they have sushi, like as if you're at Publix or something. Ori's freaking out about it. She also got some other things. Eggs.
I'm gonna eat it.
Your sister needs to have some too. Anyway, I fell on the river rocks. Remember, first I hurt myself in the urban air trampoline park. I made it hurts, but I thought it was gonna be really bad. And then I'm not learning my lesson. I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. I have ideas. I just bailed on the rocks, and it was like it's like I saw it happening. It was like almost like it was meant to happen. It's weird. I'm not gonna go into it, but I'm like limping around. I'm hoping tomorrow, like when you wake up, you'll know how bad it really is. 2 hours into the hike, we get to the top, and that's where I hurt myself. And I had to, with an injured leg, walk all the way down across the river rocks many times, going over each side of the river. It's just crazy. I just hope I could walk okay.
I might have got these. No, they're just stick-ons, so I can take them off. But look how slight they look.
Wow. We were just in some random supermarket in Utah, in some random, no supermarkets miles away from this place.
I love it.
This is the second day here at LiquaDry. We're actually going where my Airbnb is. We're going to go see the river where it comes into this valley, where their water comes from. So yesterday the water came all the way from the mountain that we went to, and it comes all the way around and it enters right through here. And that's what we're going to check out.
Right behind me, we got this big rock outcropping. This is actually volcanic deposit
Yeah.
minerals. A lot of potassium and phosphorus
Wow.
in this rock right here.
Yeah.
But right here, Matt, is where this river stops flowing north and actually turns into our valley and starts coming into our valley. So right here, this would have kind of been the point where it was meeting Lake Bonneville back in the day.
Yeah. Right here is the point.
So it's still kind of even with the terrain.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see on the bank over there where it's cut down into the bank a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of silty.
Yeah.
As we kind of work our way back down into the valley, you'll just kind of see where the river had been depositing this plethora of minerals, down into the valley. And now that the ocean or the sea's not there, it's now having to cut through the seabed, to find its way south,
Right.
So
And there's just layers and layers of minerals here.
yeah, layers
Wow.
and layers.
All right. So where are we headed next?
The next stop is just going to be along the river. We're going to go see where it's really cut down into that mineral deposit as
cool.
it makes its way towards the farms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna go harvest some barley and juice it. Also gonna see some alfalfa farms. All right, let's go.
From here, right now we're kind of like on the banks of where the ancient sea would have been.
Yeah.
And so from here, the silt gets, really starts to get really deep. And you'll notice the river starts to really meander back and forth. You look at it on a map. I mean, it's just
all over
finding its way, digging its way through that silt, trying to find its way south. It's kind of fun because in the summertime, the locals like to, go tubing down the river kind of a thing. And you think, okay, I'm a couple miles up the road and I throw my tube in, but then it takes you half a day to get just a couple miles down the road because the river's actually several miles because it just meanders so much,
Wow.
So
And
fun.
the silt is just filled with minerals.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's that volcanic minerals from the mountains that we were in coming down here.
That's
right?
crazy.
So, and it's just built up over eons of time, right? It's just
Is that the river? That's the river right there.
yeah.
And you said it was at ground level.
Yeah, because we're still kind of on the banks of the seabed before we kind of get into in the valley. We're just kind of working our way downhill.
Yeah.
Here driving.
And so then it's at ground level now, and then it just goes where?
As we come down into the, where the seabed is, you can see where the river just starts cutting down into its own ancient deposits. It's just kind of cutting back through what it was depositing in the water when it was underwater. Here.
Right.
Cool. Kind of a thing.
And that's what we're gonna see next.
Yeah.
I noticed as we've been traveling here, and Angela's curious about these types of things too. There's there's hay bales, there's a hay bale back there. We keep seeing hay bales everywhere.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the alfalfa, that's alfalfa.
Okay.
And the alfalfa that comes out of this valley has a worldwide reputation for being some of the best alfalfa in the world.
Oh.
And it's because of the efficiency of the feed rate is really high because of the mineral content.
Yeah.
So racehorses in Arabia,
Oh wow.
really high quality beef in Japan. Companies come here from all over the world to buy alfalfa.
Wow.
So it's literally exported all over the world.
We've probably seen 10 hay bales in the background since we've been. And then there's more over there.
Yeah.
Angela's been talking to locals, she was at the hot springs, and she's just curious about all this type of stuff, and she was just asking questions, and they were explaining what do people do for a living out here, Angela asks, and well, there's LiquaDry. They just knew who you were, and then I don't know how many employees you guys have. They mentioned that another company, there's a big the main cheese factory here where they buy bulk cheese, and all the cheese on all the shelves and all the markets is from right here or something like that. Is that true?
Yeah, there is a cheese plant here where they do process a lot of the retail, the bulk cheese down into retail packaging and stuff like that. But more importantly, because of the alfalfa quality and stuff that comes from this area, there is actually a lot of dairies here. And when you have dairies, you also have beef feedlots and stuff like that.
Oh, so there's dairy here, so because the animals feed off of the alfalfa, and it's just it just happened that way.
In this area, kind of well-known cheese factory is the Cache Valley cheese. It's just really we just get really rich milk here because of the feed. Yeah, in fact, when we juice all the greens like the alfalfa and the barley and the wheat, the oat, what we have left over, all this green pulp, it's actually still really rich in nutrition, because no matter how hard you squeeze it, there's still a lot of macronutrition that's bonded to the cellulose that we don't digest. Turns out the cows really love it. And so they can turn it into energy and the farmers, they take our pulp and give it to the cows, and then we actually get the manure for our composting program.
So it's like a trade?
To go back and, yeah, it's like a trade.
Wow.
And so we trade that to them for the manure that goes into our composting program to put on our organic farms.
Wow.
So then we put that on there and, you know, we get it into the soil, and then we let the soil rest for about a year, you know, before we put another crop back on it.
Wow.
And so the feedlots and the dairies and, you know, all of our juice pulp is organic. You know, our farms are certified organic, and so, you know, they don't have to worry about pesticides or GMOs or, you know, any herbicides or chemicals or anything like that. So they really love it. You know, the cows just love it.
Wow.
We're gonna pass over this spot here, but you kind of see where the river's getting kind of deep down into the silt and starting to cut into the earth.
Yeah.
As we're moving here into the seabed valley.
Right.
So,
Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Another example of the rivers meandering around.
and that's
The banks.
that big tall bank. That's the silt that the river had previously deposited.
Yeah.
You know, when it was underwater. You know, it just would keep pushing silt out into this valley. You know, the minerals and stuff.
This area is just a mineral treasure mine. It's just like absolutely crazy. I can't believe that God created this amazing pot of minerals in the world. It's just unbelievable.
Flowing over there,
Yeah.
and it's just become almost this big canyon over there,
Wow.
where the river has just cut and cut and cut down into its own kind of riverbed.
Wow.
It's kind of recutting its riverbed now that has to run along shore.
Grabbing more minerals as it cuts and churns. And
Yeah. Coming up on the big river, this is what we call the river dip.
Okay.
Because imagine back in the ancient days, right? I'm just gonna kind of pull over here so we can get some perspective.
Okay.
As we approach up here,
Yeah.
we're gonna go down in kind of this really deep valley.
Okay.
But that valley was basically cut by the river.
Wow.
So just to give you a perspective on how deep the minerals are here, you just look at this valley,
Okay.
because essentially the river cut down through all of its deposits over all those eons of time, you know, kind of like back down to the riverbed, or, you know, back down to solid earth kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty amazing on how deep,
Yeah.
you know, the river gets right here, and that's because it's cutting through all those
Minerals.
that it's left behind.
And then it goes to your farm.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over here and take a look at the river and look at the bank and just kind of see where it's all exposed, and we'll talk a little bit about alfalfa and why alfalfa loves it so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at those guys.
So really just wanted to kind of just really emphasize like how deep, you know, the mineral bed is here. And so you think about those alfalfa roots, you know, going down
Yeah.
20, 50 feet,
Yeah.
you know, over the course of 5, 6, you know, 7 years, sometimes even.
Yeah.
It's just this massive battery of,
Yeah.
of minerals we have to pull from, you know, that just keeps giving. And the river, you know, still flows in here, still bringing and recharging those minerals, refreshing those minerals every year. So it's just,
Right.
you know, Mother Nature just keeps giving it to us, and
Yeah.
we love it. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we farm in this valley.
It's amazing. I can't believe this. This is like mineral central of the entire world, entire universe. This is like, I'm like standing on minerals, like the best, most absorbable minerals on the planet, like volcanic, Lake Bonneville, and then this whole river watershed thing. It's just endless.
There's only 2 places in the world where you have an ancient seabed, a river delta, and volcanic field, all in the same, you know, feeding the
Wow.
minerals into a you know, a farming area.
And we're standing on one of them, and the other one's in Italy.
Yeah, I understand. The geologist said that there's one in Italy, but it's not leveraged, you know, like we do what we do
Right.
here.
This is insane.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're leveraging this.
Yeah. So this is why we're here, though. You know, this is why we farm in this valley.
Right. What a river delta is like a river flows and then it kind of spider webs out all throughout the sand and silt and stuff like that, and it spreads out, and it's kind of like the end of the river where, you know, it's not like the river is passing through this place and depositing minerals. It like ends here. That's what a river delta is. And what's crazy is they named this place, it's like Delta, that's the city here. And oh my God, look at this sign right here. It says, welcome to Delta, check it out. Welcome to Delta. They named it after this river delta. So you guys, like a delta is like a triangle. And so like, that's why they call it a river delta. It's like the river's like a point, and then it fans out into like a triangle. It's like why sometimes you hear like the Mississippi Delta. That's like where that Mississippi River just ends and forms a triangle and just dumps all that silt and everything like that. Wow, look at all these sheep.
So they'll bring the sheep in from the mountains this time of year, where there's less food in the mountains because of the snow and everything. But the sheep help all the rest of the farmers because they kind of come in and help clean up the fields. And
look at all these.
The alfalfa, if you leave it too tall, as you kind of put it to bed over the winter, you can kill it because it gets mold and yeast and that kind of stuff. So the sheep just kind of come in and mow it down nice and clean and put it to bed.
Wow. Dr. Norman Walker used to say, you know, the juice pioneer, he would say that alfalfa, the roots go like 100 meters down in the ground, 30 to 100 meters or something, and just leaches up all the minerals.
Yeah, it's like, I've heard of them going as deep as about 50 feet.
50 feet? Oh, yeah, maybe it's not meters.
Feet, you know, between 20 to 50 feet. 50 feet is pretty deep for alfalfa.
So your alfalfa juice powder must be one of the most powerful juice powders on the planet.
It's amazing.
It's one of my favorites. I always talk about it.
And because alfalfa roots go so deep, I mean, you think about, see, like here's the riverbank. I'm gonna actually turn around right here. We're gonna go over to this little spot where we can really see it exposed.
Alfalfa is like the top food in the world. I mean, like plant vegetation for chlorophyll. It's second to carrots and vitamins or something like that. And then it's loaded in crazy minerals. And the alfalfa juice powder that we have from LiquaDry here, the mineral content is insane. Anyway, all right, we're gonna go to this river here, bank here.
Yeah, you can look across. If you see that bank right over there, and you just think that's how deep. Like,
wow.
This is all minerals right here, right?
Wow.
So we're out on one of the alfalfa fields. You know, it's looking kind of bleak right now this time of year because alfalfa is a hot weather crop, you know, and we're deep into fall now, right? It's getting cold and it's freezing at night, and alfalfa goes to sleep this time of year. I thought we'd at least kind of walk out here and look at some plants, and you know, there's a nice little green patch right here still. So
weren't you saying like at this time the nutrition goes down to the roots and that's why it turns yellow?
Yeah, so you know, when it goes dormant, you know, it's kind of been building it's been storing all this energy in the leaves and the stem and trying to create this nutrition. But now it knows, okay, it's getting cold. It's time to go to sleep for the winter. So it's going to push all of that nutrition down into the roots. Of course, the roots are just going to go a little bit deeper.
Oh, that's why it goes deeper and deeper, the roots.
You know,
so then they're going to grow again in the next. These plants will grow again with even more minerals.
That's right. So they'll come back up in the spring. It's usually later in the spring, almost summertime, before, you know, the crop really kind of gets going. This is a crop that usually lasts. It takes about a year to get an alfalfa crop established, and then once you've got it in, it'll grow for 4, 5, 6 years.
Wow.
So one of the really cool things about alfalfa is just the depth of the roots. It pulls up a lot of minerals.
And keep in mind, we are in this mineral pot with all of these. This is like the mineral central of Earth. We've got the Bonneville Lake that drained. We've got the watersheds from the river. And we've got the ancient volcanic seabed. This is the best mineral source you can possibly imagine. The roots go like 50 feet down into the ground and just suck up all these minerals in this rare, ancient, mineral-rich valley. It's absolutely insane. Alfalfa juice powder just skyrocketed to one of my top favorite juice powders, which it was before, but now it's just like, I just put some, it's like sweet. Yeah.
Really sweet, like a snap pea, right?
Yeah. Wow.
A couple hundred years ago, the pioneers came here and settled.
Yeah.
And this was just a vast, high altitude desert. You know, we're actually at about 4,500 feet here.
Yeah.
In altitude. So we're actually kind of up in the mountains, right?
Sure.
But it doesn't look like it. It's like we're in this flat desert and you think we're like sea level or something. But
yeah,
we're actually up about 4,500 feet. And you think about the ancient seabed at this altitude. I mean, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But with all of the minerals and salts here, it was too salty to grow anything.
Yeah.
So how do you survive? You know,
right.
They came here and like, okay, how do we survive? How do we do this? Well, they figured out that if they could get water out to the crops, so they dug this like thousands of miles of these irrigation ditches.
Is that what this is right behind you?
Yeah, and so, I mean, this one's, you know, been concreted, but, you know, just to the right of you there, you can see where it's not.
Oh my gosh.
So they dug just these miles and they kind of laid everything out in this 40-acre kind of grid work and dug all these irrigation ditches. So what we have to do in order to grow crops here is do what we call flood irrigate. So you've seen like a rice paddy, right? Where, you know, the water's kind of flooded out in the field and they kind of plant the rice.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of have to do the same thing. Is we actually plant first, and then we come in and we flood what we call a dike, which is kind of like between these little, you see these little dirt berms that kind of go down the middle of the fields. We'll kind of flood that little section and then turn the water off. And so the water will soak into the ground. And on the other end of the field, there's like a really deep ditch. And we call that a drainage ditch. And basically what happens is, you know, the pressure from the water will push the salts kind of back down.
Okay.
And leach out into that drainage ditch.
Wow.
And then that drainage ditch goes out into the desert, into like a wildlife preserve.
Wow.
And that's the only way that we can kind of keep the salts in balance, just enough for us to be able to plant. So the salts are kind of at this peak of being available, but not quite to the point where it burns, you know, the plants up from being able to grow. So
wow.
That's how we grow in the desert.
Nice.
We'll water once or twice like that. The water here is like gold, right? So we try to do concrete ditches and stuff like that because that kind of helps us preserve the water and not waste the water and that kind of stuff. So.
Wow. I always knew like this was a mineral rich place and like the alfalfa roots went down deep down. I thought it was like no joke, but now that I've seen it with my own two eyes, this is just absolute insanity. This is like the earth is salt here. Like it's unbelievable.
So right here, you know, in front of us, you'll see some compost. They're starting to stage compost here for us to go out and put on the farm. So this crop was harvested, you know, earlier in the year, and now they're, you know, kind of finishing preparations to come out, get the manure spread and get it tilled under, and so the earth is working on that.
So did you trade that for alfalfa pulp? You traded poop for alfalfa?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that seriously right there?
Yeah, so that's what we get back from the farmers is, you know, and we have a big place that we put it all and let it compost a little bit. And,
wow.
And so then they haul it out here to get ready to spread on the farm when we don't have any harvestable crops around. This field, we actually were doing some R&D work on this field.
Okay.
Trying to apply more, not just organic farming practices, but sustainable farming practices around regenerative farming. Some of that is like doing no-till farming. You know, one of the things you worry about is weeds growing, you know, and so how do you prevent weeds growing? And you want to use the plant material that you were growing to kind of get the biomass and organic matter back into the soil. And so you're just experimenting with different things like sorghum, and then you come in and kind of lay the sorghum down and it's what kind of smothers any of the weeds and, you know, that kind of a thing. And then you come back later and plant amongst the sorghum, and that's been kind of laid over and dried up, and now You know, so now you kind of have a blanket that insulates the dirt from direct sunlight, and so you know you're retaining more moisture in the soil, which means more bacteria growth, and just different experiments that we're running right now to try to improve and create some regenerative farming strategies and habits and stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
You guys are the bomb. And they traded alfalfa juice pulp for this poop right here.
that's right.
That's pretty cool. Guys, we're really close to the LiquaDry plant. We're going to the barley field where we're going to harvest. But here's one of those ditches. Here, check it out.
So this is a drainage ditch. You know, so on one end of the farm we're irrigating, we're putting that water out there and flooding the field, and then that water pressure, you know, just kind of pushes, hydraulic pressure if you will, kind of pushes the salts out into these drainage ditches. Then that salty water kind of flows out into like a little marshy wetlands area that is kind of like a wildlife preserves out in the desert.
Wow. That's awesome.
Our history is, as you can see, we're approaching the LiquaDry facility. This yellow house on the left used to be where the owner first moved, and that was the headquarters of the company.
Wow.
And this Quonset building in the front was where we did all the juicing and then the packaging.
Wow.
And then the silos over to the right, as the dehydration systems are suspended inside those silos,
Oh my God.
that we keep the powder suspended. Basically, we make this little microscopic droplet, and we keep that droplet suspended in these towers until it's ready to be collected, and then we air convey those powder particles into a big collection unit.
Oh my God. Nobody on the planet has the ability or technology to make all these juice powders with the bioactives that you have in it. It's like impossible.
Yeah, and a lot of fun. So you see, we're farmers, right? So we have a lot of big, messy farm stuff kind of going on. Lots of tractors and equipment.
We're about to get messy right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so we're gonna go out. We're gonna look at another barley field real quick. That's just kind of isolated out here. It'll be one of the crops that we'll be harvesting in the next couple days. You know, it's getting cold. Crops are starting to run out of steam. We love to harvest this time of year because we don't have to worry about weeds or anything like that. Most of the weeds have like died, gone away, and we don't have to worry about weeds really so much. Grass it's developed really deep roots. It's full of nutrition, and generally, you know, grass kind of loves cooler weather, but now it's starting to get cold. So the tips of everything actually have a little bit of maybe frostbite on them. You know, they kind of turn brown a little bit. So we probably only have a few days or a week or so of harvest left, you know, and the season will be over.
So I came just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time.
Wow. I was actually talking to Stu. I'm like, hey, I'm back from Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and I'm in the United States. You know, what if I came by? And he's like, no later than November 5th, you know, and I'm like, or that week or something, that just to be safe. And I'm like, can we come the next week after that? And he said, all right. And we made it just in the nick of time.
So Matt, we're out here, one of our organic farms, and we're looking at barley grass that we're getting ready to actually harvest. You'll notice at the very tips, they're kind of brown, but that's because they're getting frostbit just a little bit. You know, early in the morning, all the grass is frosted and actually frozen.
Can you guys see the love he has for this grass? Smile.
A lot of fun. But this is pretty happy grass, and I say that, and it's easy to actually see because, you know, when you look down, you know, into the grass, you don't see any like space between the plants. It's putting out just tons and tons of leaf, right? Trying to store up energy. Now, plant pretty much knows this time of year it's not going to be able to go to seed. So it's putting up a lot of leaf because it's going to want to put all this energy back down into the roots. It thinks it's going to come up next spring, but we're not going to let it. Mm-hmm. But pretty juicy. You want to try one?
Yeah.
Game? Okay, so what happens when you bite down on it? What's going on?
Oh my God. It's like a cow.
Feel like
It almost tastes like wheatgrass, but a little different.
So should be hearing and feeling
Yeah,
like a little bit
crunchy.
of a crunch.
Yeah.
So that's those little water balloons in the cellulose are kind of, they're bursting open. You know, you're extracting the juice
That is so good.
from the plant, right?
Yeah. I can see why cows do this all day long. Horses.
But that's why it's so important, you know, that we juice it first, because
Yeah.
that's the only way you really make it bioavailable. In a plant like this, you know, the cellulose is like 60%
Yeah.
of you know what's going on here.
I just kind of juiced it. I took the cellulose and took it out.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of juice from that. Woo, I feel it. Woo!
Well, you know, there's a lot of powders on the market, and a lot of them are just, you know, this leaf.
With the cellulose.
Yeah, with the cellulose, it gets dried and milled
Yeah.
and ground up, and
Give me another one of those.
yeah. So
Ooh, that one looks good.
yeah,
Look at that.
so
That part's really good.
yeah, that's where a lot of the water and the sugars and stuff are, and that plant is it's probably going to be starting to send a lot of that, you know, back down the stem to the roots. So it's like the perfect time to harvest it. We've got to unlock it, you know, by juicing it. It just helps us release the macronutrients, you know, from the fiber.
Yeah.
To make it bioavailable. But
Fun day at the farm, he said. This is so good, guys. Oh my God.
just give you a hat, you look just like a farmer. There's actually a scale called the Feeks scale, and it just kind of shows the different stages of maturity of grass. And so we harvest in what they call the jointing stage. We want the grass to be at its peak, like just before it starts to develop the processes for seeds, because it's at that moment where, you know, the nutrition in the plant is kind of peaked, and when it starts to make a seed, the chemistry of the plant changes just a little bit, where it's now gonna focus its energy on creating that seed, and you know, and storing energy in the seed for it to be able to sprout and come up, you know, on the next generation.
Wow.
So, you know, its whole purpose in life is to make babies, you know, carry on the next generation, right?
Yeah.
You know, you hear me talking about happy grass.
Yeah.
And that's really important, because if the grass gets stressed, it will automatically go into kind of its reproductive mode to try to carry on the next generation. You know, before something bad happens to it, it's stressed, and so it goes into this reproductive mode. And we don't want that. We want the grass to be happy and stress-free, and we want it to create lots of leaf. The more leaf it makes, the more energy it's able to store, the better seeds it'll make. But we just don't let it get to the seed stage.
Right.
Right. So we harvest it at that peak.
Nice.
Kind of thing. So happy grass is important.
Right.
Stress-free grass. Out here in the open blue skies and nutritious soil.
Yeah.
Lots of water for it.
Nice.
So we're super glad you came out to visit us, Matt. We could get to share you this whole story, but
Yeah.
it's one thing to talk about it, right? And it's another one to kind of
Show the whole entire experience.
yeah, kind of see the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This has just been so amazing. I'm so glad I came.
yeah, glad you came.
Hey guys, that big pile right there is straight compost. They're just stockpiling it. It's crazy.
This field right here out the window is a field we're doing kind of an experiment on a cover crop.
Okay.
It's basically turnips and radishes and beets. The plant kind of helps keep moisture and bioactivity kind of going on in the soil. You know, all that green and stuff like that will actually get turned in. It's just nitrogen, protein, just making things more bioavailable actually in the soil and keeping things bioactive in the soil. All that green kind of works like a, you know, we call it green manure.
Wow.
You know, kind of a thing. So
That's cool.
yeah.
You guys, look at that. I'm telling you, they have the best soil on the planet.
It's a little bit scraggly looking, but this is a field that was already kind of harvested in the last, you know, several days.
Nice.
I head down here and wait for the guys as soon as they're ready at the plant to pull the trigger. When they're ready for juice, they'll call for the harvester to start up and he'll start chopping, and we'll get to see them transfer it from the chopping wagon to what we call a transport wagon or a feed wagon. It'll go back to the factory and just kind of plug in and unload into the big juicer.
Is that fast?
It's that fast. A lot of hard work, but it's really kind of a really simple, straightforward
Brilliant.
process, you know?
Yeah.
So,
The bees are just coming in the car. Hi there. Oh man. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You're so proud.
well, fresh as can be, right? He's just chopping it up, you know, about 3 or 4 inches up off the ground, maybe even about 4 or 5 inches. And, you know, in a few minutes here, we'll have a transport wagon that'll come in from the factory, and you'll see kind of the transition for how it gets from one to the other. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna chop probably about 22,000 pounds of grass
Wow.
or so, and we'll transport that to the plant and they'll juice it in probably about 30-40 minutes or so.
Wow. Exciting. It doesn't get more fresh than that. Oh man. It's coming back around to the next row. It's so awesome. That's primo grass. Look at that. Looks like it's done. Wow.
This is going to position everything so when the transport wagon gets here, we can transfer from this wagon into the next one.
Ah. Nice.
You want to go up and get a picture?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna climb that thing.
You want to climb up there and get a harvester's eye view?
Yep.
Okay. Both hands on the rails. Here goes Matt. We're going to test his harvesting skills.
Yeah.
What do you think? Pretty big?
Oh yeah, this is a harvester eyes view. Wow.
How's the weather up here?
Nice. It's amazing.
So the plant, the factory's actually just kind of on the other side of those trees over in the background there. So maybe about a, I don't know, 7-minute drive or so.
Okay. So this is the transport vehicle. What are those cutters in the back of the transport vehicle?
So the big auger thing,
Yeah.
well, when we get the grass loaded in there, you'll kind of see how that works. But basically, it kind of helps in the bottom of that transport. There's a big chain drive on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Basically, we'll pull the load to the back. We'll see
Oh my
more
God.
about that as we get at the factory. But here's kind of the fun part, right?
Whoa. Oh my God. Look at that. This is serious.
Can you smell it?
Yeah. Smells so good. I'm salivating. Look at that. It looks like a juice powder from here. Oh my God, I can't believe we're about to go juice this at LiquaDry.
So we're gonna kind of rush off to the plant, maybe get a head start on them, because we're gonna have to get all dressed up and get ready to go in and see this all in action.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited.
As we're finished harvesting this field here, as soon as they get all the crops off, they'll be staging all the compost and tilling all this under. We like to do it when it's still green if we can get to it in time.
Yeah.
Kind of helps keep the nitrogen and, you know, all that good stuff in the soil. So
Yeah. We're gearing up to go inside. Oh yeah, the moment I've been waiting for, the moment we've been waiting for. Let's do it. All right, guys. The grass is going in to this conveyor. So that was an auger conveyor that brings it to the juicer. Ready? Let's go check out the pulp at the other end. This is the pulp after it's been juiced. This is like the discard chamber.
yeah, so this goes out to the dairy farms and cows.
Oh yeah, they trade for manure, compost. All right.
So, you know, the production guys just pulled us a sample off a juicer. I mean,
Oh man, that's straight barley grass juice, and we got nailed by the
just getting squirted by the juicer, right?
yeah when he opened it up there.
So, just so you know, this is so potent.
I can't believe I'm getting so much.
By the volume, this is the equivalent. Let's see, wait, this probably holds about.
This is the best barley grass juice on the planet.
Yeah, so this is like 500 milliliters or so, like half a liter, right?
Yeah.
So this would be like drinking 2.5, almost 3 liters of wheatgrass shots.
Oh my
from
God.
a wheatgrass spore. That's how potent this is.
Yeah.
Off of a farm.
Right.
You know, that's the difference between a farm and something you grow in a tray.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much mineral and so much phytonutrients and stuff in this compared to like tray grass.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like 4.5, 5x what you're gonna get in a juice bar
Right.
in terms of potency. So it's like
Yeah.
it'd be like drinking more than half a gallon, you know,
Of the.
like a wheatgrass shot.
Yeah. Oh
so
my God.
crazy. So
Oh
nice
yeah.
and chilled and
I'm gonna drink some right now.
oh man. All right.
Okay, guys. I should just take a small amount, right? Or
Yeah, I wouldn't drink very much. So super potent. Okay.
Kubernomi. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need another drink. I have never tasted anything like that in my life. I feel like I could just keep going a little bit more. I've even drinking barley grass juice shots from a tray in a farmer's market. This is way better. This is insane, guys.
I think you just had the equivalent of the entire salad bar.
The entire salad bar. I can handle it.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thanks.
All right, guys. That was a single auger juicer. A huge one the size of me that he opened the thing to where we got squirted by the juice and stuff. And I am flying right now from this, like out of my mind. Like Angela and the girls are gonna be like, what is wrong with you? This is insane, alive. It's just the absolute best. Oh my God.
So that's one of the drying towers.
That tower right there.
That's our brand new one. And
dude, you just got a new one?
Yeah, so you know, we've had it for, you know, about a year or so, but basically inside that dryer, that dehydration chamber that's suspended in there, we're making this microscopic droplet that we keep suspended in the air.
That is insane.
Okay? And then what we do is you see these little stainless steel lines that are kind of running on the top there?
Yep.
We're actually conveying the powder from the drying chamber over into the next building.
Oh my God.
So let's walk in there and kind of check it out.
Okay. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Oh my goodness.
You want the hat off?
Yeah, is that a LiquaDry hat?
Yeah.
Put it on, bud.
All right, come on.
So how long have you worked here?
Francis Mendoza, and I've been here 14 years, October 11th.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a good place to be.
He knew my name and everything.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, you know, we get ready for you. We get prepared.
Nice.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, you had a video that you sent to us a couple years ago that we appreciated, you know, getting us all.
Oh right, yeah, I did that.
So we appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Zo's been here for 14 years. He helps us out here in the warehouse, and he kind of knows the gamut. He can work in production. He's worked in powder production.
Powder, packaging, production, blending, warehouse, everything but the dryers. I can run. So give me 2 weeks and I'll get those down.
So we
But
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
All
Zo.
right.
Thank you.
Good to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, take care.
So Matt, we can't harvest all year long,
Right.
right? Like barley and wheat, they don't like the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
Right, the grass would get really stressed, right? And then we would be fighting seeds, and the grass doesn't grow very well.
Yeah.
We harvest in the spring and we harvest in the late fall, like right now.
Yeah.
And so we hold that powder in this really kind of cold warehouse.
Yeah. It is cold.
We keep it at this temperature all year long. The powder we're harvesting right now, we'll start delivering that probably in about February.
Okay.
You know, out to customers.
Yeah.
It's just kind of you know, production that'll start. That's, you know, in the process of being shipped out, and
Yeah.
some of the, you know, a lot of this we just harvested and putting up here in the fall. So
Nice.
you know, lots of inventory here and putting it up, and you know, getting ready for big orders. Feed the world, right?
Yep. Awesome. He's grabbing us a box, a tote. We're gonna see what's inside.
Okay. So Matt, what we got here is juice powder from alfalfa that we harvested this last summer. So this is after we've offloaded it. I don't know if you can
Oh my God.
see the powder through there.
I want to swim in it.
Matt's powder swimming pool.
Wow. That's amazing.
So that's our alfalfa.
Thanks for doing this for us.
This is kind of a high performance system where the film and stuff that we use here is, you know, obviously BPA free and PFAS free, but it's formulated kind of like a freezer bag where it limits moisture and vapor
Oh, good.
transfer.
Yeah.
It'll stay in this until we get an order to go out, and then we'll put it in the smaller boxes and the foil pouches, you know, to keep it nice and fresh.
Nice.
12 years.
12 years?
Juan's the warehouse lead. He's been here for 12 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Worked in powder and production and warehouse and
Everywhere.
kind of do it all, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for getting that down for us.
No problem.
You know, today we're drying barley, right?
Yeah.
We're harvesting some grass today. We're getting ready to see it get juiced. We're walking around, kind of looking at things. But we also just received early this morning a tanker load cold algae from Klamath Lake.
Oh,
It's
man.
also being dried right as we speak.
So there's nothing in it now. That's what it came in.
Yeah, so we pumped it from the milk tanker into this tank,
Wow.
and they're pumping it up to to get dry. They're processing it now, so they're gonna filter it and clean it, decant it, clear it up, and make sure that there's a bunch of testing that they're gonna do and filtering that they're gonna do, just to make sure that we get the best algae. So
Nice.
we got a delivery of that this morning, and that'll be the last one for the year. Actually, the lake's getting really cold, and the algae, kind of like alfalfa, doesn't like it to get too cold, so it's time for it to go to sleep, and so we got our last load today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just scored big time for my road trip. I won't be juiceless this road trip, I'll tell you that much. You guys, Stuart's telling me to be careful with, I can't stop drinking it, it's so good. He's telling me to be careful with it because most people would it would burn a hole through them, they have the runs and stuff. You'd have to build up to this. I've been drinking juice every day for 30 years. It's like nothing to me. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably have the runs a little bit because I'm probably gonna drink this whole thing. But I just can't stop. The barley grass juice powder on our website, you know how good that is. This is like before it was put into the powder. Oh my goodness. And it's like chilled. Your juicer even chills it. It's like cold. It tastes so good. You guys, I feel like I could drink the whole thing.
You're gonna turn green. Your eyes will turn green before we get to the bug house, I think.
It's so good. I should probably save some for them. Stuart was telling me from a phytonutrient standpoint, this is the, what'd you say it was? The most?
Probably one of the richest phytonutrient drinks you can ever drink.
In the world, right here in my hands.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm seriously buzzing. Okay, so I got a question. You know when tray wheatgrass, it's like really small and thin. The wheatgrass we just saw in the field, or the barley grass, was like really, it's like much bigger.
Yeah, like a half inch, almost to an inch, right?
Yeah. So like, what's the difference?
Oh, happy grass. nutrition in the soil, every day. I mean, that's, the plant is a living, breathing thing. I'm not sure how they feed.
So it's not, yours isn't just older, or is it bigger because it's older, or?
It is. It's more mature.
Yeah.
But it can get more mature because it's got the nutrition to be able to get more mature.
And it's more valuable, the nutrition, these bigger ones than the smaller ones.
Yeah. So, how do we measure that? So one way we measure that is simply when you juice it. When you juice it, typically from a tray grass is about 2 bricks.
Yeah.
Which tells you what the soluble solids are in the liquid. That means if it's 2 bricks, 2% bricks, it means it's 98% water.
Wow.
And the 2% is by weight, how much like powder would be in it if we dried it.
Right.
So if I had 100 grams of tray juice, which would be like 100 milliliters, right?
Yeah.
I would get 2 grams of powder out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
This right here is 13 bricks. That's
13.
More than, so that means there's more than 6 times more nutrition and solids, in this juice than what you get from a tray.
Wow.
6x. So you have a typical wheatgrass shot is like a 1 ounce shot, right?
Yeah.
It would be, the equivalent. 1 ounce of this would be the equivalent of
6 ounces of.
Yeah, 6.
And I bet. How many ounces do you think I just consumed?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. 3.5 ounces or 4 ounces.
So it's like 24 ounces of wheatgrass.
You just had like a massive salad. I mean, you really did. Like the biggest salad you could ever buy in the store. Like probably 2 big old bags of salad, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the Costco versions,
Yeah.
So.
Sweet. I was tired because I didn't get much sleep over the last couple of days. So I'm so excited about all this. That's gone.